Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to Denham Aerodrome by Burning Blue Design. This is their newest release, hot off the press, and they've done it again. They've just knocked it out of the park. They're really good at taking the character and the detail of a airfield, aerodrome, airport, and putting it into the sim to the point where if you know the particular location, then a lot of things there will feel familiar and it will have that same kind of atmosphere and character. Big thank you to Burning Blue Design for giving me the opportunity to try this out. I love what they do. It's exactly the kind of place that I want to fly from and fly into, and that's what they have managed to do and capture with a lot of the work that they do. These are living, breathing places. They have an atmosphere about them. They don't just have that kind of generic feel, and I think that's quite a good thing, especially if you're say you're actually doing some flying training in a particular place like Denham and you want to practice in the sim. You've got something that looks really like the real thing, and I just think that's absolutely brilliant, and they do pack so much detail into it. And here we are in the control tower. One of the incredible things that they've built into this is that you actually have an accurate analog weather instrument in the control room. So as you can see here, you can see as the weather changes, as the wind changes, the wind speed will change. And also, just to point out, the barometer changes as well. So as the barometer changes, you'll see that change in the instrument there. Nice little feature, something different. And that's the kind of thing that they're really good at. So what have we got here? I'm going to read to you straight from their website because they put a lot of effort into putting their words together, and it's the best way of explaining what it's all about. So Denham Aerodrome is located near Denham, Buckinghamshire, within the M25 towards the west of London. It is home to the local flying school, the Pilot Centre. Aircraft have been flying at Denham Aerodrome since the early 1900s. It was used during both World Wars as a flying training school for flight cadets. It was known as RAF Denham during these times. The airfield was first licensed as a private use airfield to Squadron Leader J.M. Bickerton in 1938. The airfield was the home to one of the earliest parachuting clubs in the UK, starting in 1955. The British Parachute Club was based here until May 1956, when they moved to Blackbush Airport in Hampshire, my local. The club at Denham was run by instructor Dumbo Willans and was also known as the #1 civil parachute training school. Currently there are a number of charter and flight instruction and filming operators based at Denham Aerodrome, as well as a helicopter maintenance facility. The aerodrome is also home to Biggles Restaurant, named after the fictional airman of that name, and a small cafe called the Crew Room on the north side of the airfield. Denham Aerodrome has been beautifully recreated by Burning Blue Design's modelers and coders undertaking on-site visits. They have also collaborated with actual pilots based at Denham, and hey, that's always a good sign, to ensure the highest levels of accuracy. It features over 80 custom 3D objects that have been created exclusively for Denham Aerodrome, each with physical-based rendering PBR textures, enhanced high-resolution colour-corrected ground textures, high-detail control tower and cafe interiors, the working analogue weather instrument in the control room that we just saw before, completely custom hanging-style windsock, dynamic objects and visitors change depending on the time of day, which is a pretty clever feature. Numerous custom aircraft have been added around Denham to enhance the realism and better reflect actual aircraft found at the airfield. De Havilland Chipmunk, the Pilot Centre Cessna 152s, Robinson R44 HQ Aviation. And it also incorporates the correct AI pattern procedures and accurate taxiway and runway placement. So, as you can see, there is an awful lot that has gone into this. And I think if you're looking to do that kind of GA flying, and if you're looking for a base, this is a pretty good place to come to. You've also got that nice mixture here of a tarmac runway and also a grass runway. So again, if you're flying warbirds and you're looking for somewhere that has got a mixture of both, then it's a good location for it. And just the atmosphere is great. I think you can tell here from this night shot The night lighting is beautiful, and it has lots of character about it. And I'm already thinking that for me, because I'm doing a lot of helicopter flying now as well, this would be a great place to fly in and out of in the helicopter. So what are we going to be doing today? Well, we're going to be taking RR232 City of Exeter, Golf Bravo Romeo Sierra Foxtrot, a gorgeous Spitfire Mark 9, which is operated by Spitfires.com down at Goodwood. We're going to be taking this Spitfire from here, Denham, over to White Waltham, which is another burning blue design airfield. And we're going to give them a little buzz, say hello, and then head down to Popham, which is yet another burning blue design airfield. So if you're looking to, maybe you haven't got those particular pieces of scenery, and it will give you a bit of a flavour of those as well. Incidentally, it's well worth pointing out, burning blue design is available on their own website, and I will put a link below, but also now it's available via Orbex. So you can check out their scenery as well there if you would prefer. This repaint is by John Terrell, and it's a real beauty, and it's nice to be able to fly this for the first time in a video in this particular one.
Right, we've moved across the airfield here to the other side. Aircraft needed a little bit of a wash, and bless them, they've done that for us, which is rather nice. Plus also the Satco wanted to make sure that when I started up over here, you know, just in case anything goes wrong. These warbirds, you know. But isn't this just gorgeous? So atmospheric. Sitting in a Spitfire at a place like Denham. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, I'll try and keep the waffle short. I'm not going to do a prolonged startup because I want to make this flight really as quick as I can, just so that you get a chance to see some of the scenery, and we also see Denham from the air. So start up, the parking brake is on. Open the fuel cock. Prop fully fine and the mixture fully rich. Crack the throttle. Close the door. This is the updated version now, or the latest update, which means that if we don't have the door slightly ajar like this on the first latch setting, if you like, when we brake, the canopy will come flying forward. And if your fingers are there, that is going to hurt, my friend. That's going to hurt a lot. So we just need to be a little bit wary of that. Right. I did that. Let's just activate the switch there. You can hear the fuel pump is on with the latest update. It starts with the fuel pump automatically on, so we're not having to use the old pump here. Our fuel pressure warning light is out, which is fantastic. That means we've got good fuel pressure. We are going to prime it. One of the other things they've done with the latest update is put a more realistic prime in. And I was talking, so I'm not sure if I counted that correctly, but I'm looking at about 7 + 1 for that. Okay, everything else is fine. Both mags on. Looking around, throttle is cracked. Right, let's see if this baby starts. There we go, very nice. Everything's looking good down here. Let's just watch the click spots and close those. Don't need to prime anymore, so we'll close that. We'll have the pitot heat on. Everything else is good. Yep. Okay. Let's have the lights on. Good. Now, some of you might be wondering why I didn't shout clear prop. That's because I forgot. And also because anyone who's daft enough to get that close to a Spitfire propeller, well, if your insurance doesn't cover it, I don't know what to say. Yeah. Okay, let's go. So I will just come back a little bit on the throttle so we don't have any nasty surprises, and release the brake, and we can start rolling forward. So we're not going to take the grass runway, which I'd probably normally do, to be honest, in the Spit. I think we'll take the asphalt runway just because that's what a lot of people will be using, and it gives you a chance to see that. the interesting thing is I've started over here, just coming up to 9 o'clock, and you can see there's no one at the cafe yet. So what it said in the blurb was absolutely right, in that depending on the time of day depends on what people you see. So that's a nice little feature because it adds a bit of life to it. You know, it means that you're not necessarily always going to see the same thing. Now, this forklift truck fella, he really does need to be careful. Some people have appeared over there now in the front of the cafe, getting their cappuccino or cappuccino and their bacon roll and watching the Spitfire going off. You stay there, sunshine. That's it. So we're going to cross the grass strip just here and then tootle on round to the back of 06. Okay, everything's looking good. Temperatures are fine. Radiator temperature is a little bit high actually. The old Mark II, you wouldn't take off if it was above 100, so that's quite interesting. Good to get some air through those radiators. Okay, quick stop here. Not going to hang around because of the temperatures. We're going to give it one notch down on the nose trim, which always helps nicely. Hydraulic pressure is good in the brakes there. Everything else is fine. I've not left anything in the incorrect position or done anything silly. New. As always, we are going to take off with the canopy open. In case for whatever reason we need to suddenly jump out. I haven't got any AI set up, but it's always worth a look just to see there's nothing nasty coming. And then we'll just gently line up on the runway. There we go. Okie doke. Another quick look. Everything's good. Right, let's go. Add some power. Close the canopy now, so I'll just bring that in, click that, and we're closed. There we go. Right, now I'm not putting too much on in terms of the boost. I tend to fly the Spitfire in this more like a restoration Spitfire rather than a wartime Spitfire, so that's why I don't go too crazy with the boost settings. So let's come back and have a look. Beautiful. Nice mixture there. You've got your grass strip, you've got your asphalt runway, bags of character, and quite a handy location as well where we are. We're kind of north of Heathrow, just sort of close enough to London to get into there nice and easy, and not a million miles away from some of the other burning blue strips if you wanted to do, as we're going to do now, just a nice little quick tour. I mean, something that I like to do sometimes is fly around different airfields and do circuits and bumps. So let's get on our way. Just watching those temperatures there. Can bring the boost down to +2. With some trim. Trim is your friend. Just coming over Stoke Poges. Or Stoke Pogies, as my eldest son used to call it when he was a kid. He is a kid. When he was a little kid. Burnham Beaches now. Lambourne Golf Club, and we're going to fly over Cliveden, and specifically Cliveden House. I'm interested. It could be one of those things where you visit in the sim and it looks nothing like reality. It's just some generic auto-gen kind of thing, but we'll have a look anyway. Be interested to see. Okay, it doesn't look bad. It's oh, the closer you get, maybe not. At least we can see the gardens and everything. Not bad. I think really, you know, God, at the end of the day, it's a damn good simulator for scenery, isn't it? And even though the architecture might not be what it should be, at least we've got something quite nice to look at compared to the older simulators. Just coming up now over, well, coming into Maidenhead, coming over Furs Platt, if you know the area. And of course, Maidenhead means White Waltham. So just checking where we are with our power setting, checking our temperatures, they're okay. Let's give it a bit more power, prop first. There's White Waltham. They're all sitting outside, having a beer. Actually, this time in the morning, I'm not sure if they would. So, this is another Burning Blue design airfield, White Waltham. I've done a video, I'll put a link down below. Another cracking rendition of a very well known British airfield. Tons of detail, really nice, some great grass strips here, and brilliant for doing some GA or Warbird work. There's a T6 here, Ultimate Aero's got a T6, and there's also a Hurricane operating out of here with Ultimate Aeros, and just looking down there, I just noticed, oh yeah, we've got the bales and the harvester still in the field. Right, let's head off now down to Popham. It's amazing how quickly you can get around in a Spit. So here we are over Reading, and we're just going to give a quick salute to the Berkshire Museum of Berkshire Aviation, which is down there. Can't really see a great deal of it in the sim, but trust me, it is down there. Down there. Hello, what's that? Vitamin G there as we came round. It's always good for you. Yeah, look, there it is. There is an aeroplane baked into the ground there. How cool. Lovely little surprises you sometimes get in this sim. Incredibly realistic scenery. Honestly, I never get bored with being amazed at just how good the scenery can be in this sometimes. And M4 the way the sim is third-party aircraft now kind of catching up and the quality is getting better. It definitely makes it worth it. So, just getting on track now. Have Arborfield over there. Anyone who knows the area? Interesting pattern down there. Now down here is Stratfield Say House, which was a residence of the Duke of Wellington. Now again, unfortunately, and thank God we're up high, we have got a bit of autogen going on, so it looks like it's suddenly become a modern office complex. But at least we can see in the grounds anyway, we can see what's down there. And yeah, the Duke of Wellington used to spend some of his time there when he wasn't in the city. Of course, it's hard not to think of the Duke of Wellington without thinking of Blackadder. If you haven't seen Blackadder, then that will mean absolutely nothing for you. But if you Google Duke, or if you go onto YouTube, look at Duke of Wellington and Blackadder, you'll see what I mean. Bit of a national hero from the point of view of the Napoleonic Wars and all that, but we won't start going into a history lesson, especially when I probably couldn't give you a history lesson, if I'm honest. Just about remember some of it. Okay, quick look around. Come back on the power and the RPM a little bit. Ease it off. Just coming up over to Basingstoke now. Nice and steady. You don't have to fly around all the time in the Spit at high boost, high RPM. sometimes it's quite good just to rein it back a bit, and your temperatures will thank you for it. And actually, one of the things with the A2A Spits, if you fly those in P3D or FSX, you'll already know that that kind of aspect of it is quite important, because it's very easy to overdo it. Beautiful day for doing this. It's an interesting, what was that? I wonder what they are. Can't help but think that's military, but I might be wrong. Or it could be an ex-military base. There's quite a lot of army activity going on around here. Interesting anyway. Right, they're thinking, why is that Spitfire circling up ahead? Nothing to see here, sunshine. Move on. So we're coming up on Popham now. Just see it over there. We'll do a nice low pass. It's a lovely little piece of scenery. This again, grass strips, bags of character, lots of detail. People who actually fly at Popham in real life have remarked how realistic it is, how much detail is there. Look at that, cracking. Really nice. Okay, now I actually got, when I did the Popham video some time ago, I'll put a link below, I did actually get indirectly told off by someone who I presume is either in some kind of managerial role or has got responsibilities at Popham, and he remarked on the video, anyone who is watching this or using Popham, please do not use the procedures that I was following in the video, and I was being a little bit slapdash and not following the correct procedures. So if anyone is watching this thinking that I'm in any way trying to emulate the real procedures coming into Popham, I'm not. This is definitely not a this is how it's done video, and you should always consult the official procedures before visiting a new airfield. That's the disclaimer out of the way. Right. Wallowing around quite slowly here. Sometimes it's quite nice just to get a bit of slow handling practice. We certainly haven't done a conventional brake, so I'm going to drop the gear now. You can see the way the aircraft is just wallowing a bit. Bring some of that speed off. We'll drop the flap now, anticipate that. Open the canopy, one notch on there. stay hurt. And one of the interesting things here at Popham is that the runway is quite bumpy. And I'm also just conscious we don't want to run out of it in landing because, I say, trees hurt. There we go, we're down. Okay, flaps up. Quick check of the temps. And let's taxi in. We don't want to hang around too much with the temperatures being high as they are. Just come in and say hello to everybody. Right, quick look around. Happy with all that. That's good. It's nice when you've got the canopy open because you can actually stick your head out the window. And I'm using track IR if anybody is wondering. So we'll park over here. So there you have it, another fantastic Burning Blue design airfield. Popham is absolutely lovely. It's a great little base if you want to go down to the south coast or you want to go off into the West Country. Lovely little airfield. And you know, again, Burning Blue have really packed a lot of detail into this. So swing around. There we go. Parking brake on. Door open, and mine's a pint. So there you go. Thank you so much for joining the flight. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on board. Don't forget the Discord. I'll put a link down below should you wish to join that. We have group flights and we talk aeroplanes and all that kind of stuff. Fantastic community of people, fellow enthusiasts, and a lot of people who know a lot more about this than I do. So there's always help there and always people there who can give advice on bits and bobs. Anyway, link to that below. Thank you so much for joining. Look forward to seeing you again on the channel very soon. Take care now. Bye bye.